Hey guys, Monkey here, coming some more Lost Ark. And today I want to talk to you guys about all the weekly vendors and all the weekly stuff that you can do, kind of like a little weekly checklist. And maybe you learn something and you can see a new vendor you never knew about, and hopefully I can help you guys to show you that. But anyway, let's hop straight into the video now. So one of the first ones I actually want to talk about is the Exchange Chaos Merchant person. So, every time you run your Chaos Dungeon every day, you have the Aura of Resonance, you got the 100 out of 0, and it uses 50 per entrance to then give you this stuff as rewards. But if you go back in and you actually run it again, you'll start getting these things as rewards. The Shard of Purification and the Fragment of Loading. Also depending on what tier you're in. If you're in the lower tier, you get the different color ones. But yeah, we'll talk about tier 3 for now. So you can actually just run these over and over. And then why you would do that is because there is a vendor over here, and she accepts the tokens that you would get for running Chaos Dungeon without your Aura of Resonance. And as you can see, she sells quite a few things, accessories of all the different tiers, and then as well honing materials. Now in tier 1 and tier 2, this is a weekly limit and the price doesn't change at all, so you can buy that all out per week. So if you do have a tier 1 alt or multiples, you can just keep running Chaos Dungeons over and over, farm these out, do it for like an hour or something, and then buy them, and that will reset once a week. Same with tier 2, and there is also engraving packs if you do need some. There's green ones and blue ones from there, but that is a roster limit, so it is only 20. And it is either battle engraving or class engraving. So up to you what you need, if you need green ones or blue ones, but they're pretty cheap on the market board right now. And then the tier 3 one is a little bit different, whereas this all resets per week, and as you can see the limit is a much higher, $99.99. But every time you buy something over here, the price goes up, and then it resets the next following week. So you can buy stuff over here, quite a lot of good stuff to buy, especially when you're in the later tiers. I would recommend getting the Great Honor Leapstone, or the later part of tier 3 I mean. Because that you'll start using around 1340. But yeah, to buy the stuff all, and then the price goes up kind of exponentially. So that is just one thing to remember there. That is part of the weekly stuff. And then now moving on, let's actually go talk about the Sylmeal Bloodstone vendor, which is actually the guild vendor. Now all of these things you can find in any major city, so don't be worried, it's not like it's only in Proycon. If you're in tier 1 and 2, you can still find all of these. You just need to type in the name of all of them in the top here, and then they'll always help you find them. So there you go, Sylmeal Bloodstone vendor. You come and have a chat to her. And this all depends on what level your guild is. But you see on the first page, there's a bunch of silver. And then there's also XP that you can buy. And this is weekly, so it does reset weekly. And then your Sylmeal Bloodstones you get from donating to the guild and helping with researches and just doing guild tasks. Now there is quite a bit of materials. How it works with these materials is the earlier ones, the ones that you unlock at a lower level. See, this one you just have as soon as you make a guild. And that one you need level 2 of the sign shop and level 4 over there of the sign shop or whatever it's called. But the lower one down will give you more but cost less. See, for example, that one is 80 bloodstones, but you only get 1 pouch. This one is 70, but you get 2 pouches. And this one is 60, but you get 3 pouches. And it is per pouch. So it is 60 per pouch, but it's still cheaper than 80 for 1 pouch. So the later on ones is always, if you are a little bit limited on your bloodstones, you want to try and get and if the guild, depending on what level the guild is, you want to get the last one available, just because that one is the more efficient way of buying stuff. And see, as you scroll up, you can go through all the tiers. I've bought a bunch of here out of mine already. And then that one I actually kind of leave, because to me it's kind of a little bit too expensive. Because if we go and cap this out at 640, it's not too bad. But yeah, I can blow through that really quickly on reset. I think I use more than 3,000, 3 or 4,000 per reset. So you gotta check what you make and then also what you want to buy. But as I can say, the last one is cheaper per item, so do keep that in mind. And then another big one I do also want to talk about is the Una's weeklies, because a lot of people actually forget about these Una's weeklies. There is obviously the dailies that you want to be doing every day, but that's for a separate video. I need to make a daily video as well. But for now, we'll talk about the Una's weeklies. The Chaos Dungeon ones you'll be running anyway. You don't have to complete this all in one go, because you will get 10,000 points per Chaos Dungeon you complete. So you will actually need to do 6 Chaos Dungeons for this. Oh no, I think it might even be 20,000. It's a couple of Chaos Dungeons, but it won't complete in one run. Now the Chaos Dungeon one isn't that amazing. It just, if you're trying to build up your points that you have for these little Una's tokens that you get, and this you can actually turn into gold at the gold vendor. Then doing these weekly things, they actually give you 10 to 12 points, I believe it was, for completing one of the weekly things. So if you don't have many alts that are running Una's dailies every day to build these up, I believe the Una's daily ones give you 2 or 3 points. You need to do quite a bit all throughout the week to try and get to 70 points. But whereas if you do the weekly ones, you get like a bulk 10 to 12 points in one go. But what I would suggest doing is actually the cube ones if you need silver. That is the first cube one, gives you 72,000 silver. Might be a little bit lower in a lower tier. And then that one gives you silver again and also gives you a gemstone, so that's useful. Or an ability stone, whatever you want to call it. And then the boss rush ones are the ones I would actually suggest doing because both of them are really good. They give you whatever leapstone it is you are in need of. And I think if you're in a lower tier, it will actually give you more, like 20 something. And gives you a little bit of XP. And then if you do the next one, it actually gives you silver and a little bit less leapstones. You can complete both of these. You can only do them once a week. And you can only do 3 out of these for the whole week. So the ones I would suggest is the 2 boss rush ones. And then also the proving grounds one. You do need to do 5 proving grounds to do this. But it's really easy. Just queue up and have some fun. Who knows, you might even enjoy it. And then in the same breath, while we're talking about that, since the battleground then converts into PvP stuff, if you come over here, we actually do have some stuff from the PvP vendor. And you don't actually have to do much PvP to get these things. You can see we do have in all different tiers. I think I did PvP the first week that it came out with this vendor. And I haven't touched it since then. So all of the stuff is from then and a little bit more of just doing the battlegrounds and the rank as well. The first one is really easy to obtain. And then afterwards, you just need to play PvP. And every week there'll be like a reset. And then you'll get like an amount of experience that will level up your PvP level for you during that week, however much you played. But I could highly suggest that if you don't mind PvP, go and do the PvP, as there's so much to get out of the shop. There's a load of materials. I myself, I'm not really into PvP much because I have not the greatest ping at all times. So yeah, I kind of stick away from it. I just do those 5 for doing the Una's weekly. Let's talk about the pirate vendors. Let's head on straight out to the pirate vendors. Just head ready to sail from any major city. Doesn't matter which one you're at. Okay, here we are by the T and Libra guild vessel. Now these do change the inventories depending on where they are. Like which city you're outside. This stays the same, but I think the special sales might change a little bit. Or somewhere where you can buy the crew members. It might actually be the other ship I'm thinking about. But pretty much these over here by the normal side. This resets every week. You can see their weekly limit. Now the good thing, these are not bound once you buy them. The only things that are bound are the shard pouches. But you can buy destruction stones and guardian stones of any tier. Your character just needs to be the required item level to buy them. And these will reset every week. So let me actually go ahead and buy a couple of those. You get 300 destruction stones for 10,000 pirate crystals. It is a little bit expensive, but there is many ways to actually make those pirate coins during the week. I do have a video on my channel showing you how to make a bunch of pirate coins, so go watch that. And then you decide if it's worth it for you. But I personally would buy it. I just need to go do some other stuff with my pirate coins. I'm trying to do something else today. But yeah, that resets weekly. And then while we are out here, we might as well speak about the Compas. Since this is kind of a weekly / daily thing, depending on which activity. But the Proycon's Compass, the Chaos Gate, you can do once a day. It resets at 6 AM every day server time. So make sure you do that, because then those actually give you your maps, which you want to do then as well. To get all kinds of goodies every day through that. So that's daily. The Adventure Island is daily as well. And you can see over here, each Adventure Island is definitely worth doing. I'm not sure if you can do all 3 at once. I think you can only do 1 per day. So you've got to choose which one you want. But as you can see, there's a secret map there. Some of them give you pirate coins. Some of them actually give you gold as well. But it doesn't look like we have one of the gold ones today. They're really worth doing those as well. That's another daily thing actually. And then Ghost Ship will be weekly. It appears on certain days in the week, but once you do the ghost ship, you can only get the reward once per week. So that's actually the main weekly thing there is to do over here on the Compass, is to do the ghost ship once per week and get your reward depending on whichever tier you are. You want to do that. Field bosses is another daily thing, so we'll speak about that in the daily video. And then another weekly vendor is actually on the ship, the, what do we call this, Peyto, or the other one, the Cradle of the Sea Fermata. These are both, they share the same vendors, and if you have a look over here, they will sell you Fermata card packs. Actually, they might be a little bit different. The card packs, I believe, do not share, but then the other vendor does, which I'll show you in a minute. But this is actually pretty expensive, and I would not recommend it. 14,000 for the card pack, where you most likely you'll get a normal card, because to get the legendary card, it's very low % chance in this pack, since it is so many different types. So that's completely up to you. I personally do not buy this every week, because I find like there's other ways to get cards and stuff, and better things to spend my pirate coins on through the week. Like for example, the pirate vendor. that I showed you guys just before with all the upgrade materials. I feel like that is more important than trying to finish off your card pack right now, as we'll get more and more ways to get cards later on. So I think right now the gear is a little bit better for progression, but it's totally up to you. And then over here we do have the luck ability stone vendor. And as you can see, you can buy ability stones as well for pirate coins. I again don't buy this every week. It does reset weekly, so it is there if you want to. But I have so many other methods. Once you pass 1325, you get so many stones every day, and you also get the much higher stone, the legendary stone. Once you get to 1400 and 1370, you start getting way more stones. So I don't actually use those, but they are there. So if you do want to, that is them. And last but not least, we have Atlast Island. So let's head on over to Atlast Island. And here we are on Atlast Island. As you can see, there is a vendor here. There is actually 3 different vendors that spawn all over the place. There's a little guide on Maxroll that shows you all the exact spots where they spawn. I believe one is over there and the other one is around here somewhere. And then this one over here. I think there's actually another one there too. But they're all over the place, and there should always be one up at all times. And if you do open your map, it will actually show you. I'm standing right on it. It shows you over there on your map that it is there. So the pirate black market vendor or black market merchant. And you can come over here and buy weekly stuff from him. Report, I would buy that because report, you can never have too much report stuff. And then there's also the engravings. I think the other ones might have some battle engravings, but I think they do all have report. So there's another vendor for you as well. That is weekly to spend your pirate coins on. So to come there, you just need to come on over to Atlast Island. We type in Atlast Island. And it's just above Black Fang, really, because Black Fang's lair is down there. So it's up from Black Fang, and then just go around and look for the vendor. It is a PvP zone, but most of the time people don't PvP in here. And also when you're at the vendors, I think you might have the... Doesn't actually look like we have the thing that makes you safe from other people. But I know when you spawn in at the entrance, it is a little safe zone, so you can't actually be attacked by other people. But anyway, that is the Atlast Island. And that's all the main sources of weekly vendors I can think about. Please drop a like and a subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it helps me so much on the channel. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Augustin out.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the